Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode number 2 of the TD Markets podcast.
Episode number 2.
You're joined by myself, Zander, my esteemed colleagues, Seppo and Julian.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a fun-filled week. Started off on a proper note on Sunday with Manchester being painted red.
You know, we told them, they didn't listen.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, it was close.
Everyone knew.
We analysed and
Erling who? Erling who?
That was close.
Erling Rashford, that's who it was.
Erling Bruno. As you said, it started off on a good note. Happy to be back again. And yeah, man, a week of Davos that we had.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know what happened. I don't keep up with it.
Honestly, I didn't keep up with it.
All I know is like Cyril Ramaphosa came back because of load shedding stage 6.
Did he actually go to Davos or did he cancel on?
He cancelled. He cancelled. He didn't go. So I don't know what he's gonna say to restore the power or do. Maybe he's got a secret stash on the farm of coal.
Those couches must be big.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, for the president to cancel such an important event.
Yeah, listen, like Davos is all about all important dignitaries and like central banks speaking and giving their point of views on everything. I think we'll very much see a lot of what was discussed and the impact in the next FOMC meeting.
Which is very close in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. So we're very much getting close to that. So I'm interested to actually see what's going to happen. I've been discussing it in depth recently.
Yeah. I mean, I'll also have to, just watch some Bloomberg and maybe they'll give a summary of everything. Maybe this weekend, maybe today, later on this evening. But yeah, it was a week of Davos World Economic Forum. For those you guys don't know, it was on the calendar on Monday. It's on the calendar on Monday, all right? So it's gonna take a week. So this is the last day of it.
Yeah. So everyone basically goes skiing and talks about the world economy. That's what Davos is about. Held in Switzerland and
So this one later on in the year, Jackson Hole Symposium. So I forgot
that's in America.
That was it. Is it like in America?
Yeah.
But that's also like in the.
That's more centralized to America itself. More the U.S. economy as a whole. Davos was more global. Like we do get people going there from South Africa. Most of the times, people that get invited to Davos because it's only like an invites only list. Is very important people regarding finance ministers, central bank presidents, and then obviously the presidents of or central bank ministers, and then the mostly presidents and dignitaries.
Basically, world leaders.
Yeah, it's a world leaders summit at the end of the day, where they discuss the global economy as a whole. It's good to keep track of it. It doesn't really move the markets that much, except if there's some massive sort of statements made.
Yeah, I mean, nothing has been moving in the market. However,
except for gold.
Yeah, of course. Earlier on this week, I'm not sure if it's a prime minister in Australia,
New Zealand. Yeah.
Resigned.
Yeah, so the prime minister in New Zealand resigned yesterday.
That's why you saw.
Yeah, she's leaving end February. Yeah, so she'll still be in end February, and her reason for it is just she doesn't have the work ethic anymore, let's call it that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ethic.
Yeah, she can't handle she's not up to the task, is what she said. She's not up to the task anymore.
Yeah.
And she was doing alright.
Yeah,
I mean, she was doing great.
She was doing very well through COVID. She's been through like a really rough time, and to be frank with you, like she's been one of the better presidents.
100% agree. I mean, the economy was actually recovering during COVID when the rest of the world was trying to figure out how they're going to address things. They were one of the first countries to come out of lockdown. I mean, I think she handled the pandemic extremely well, and that spared a lot of hurt on the middle class in New Zealand. And everything in New Zealand is already expensive.
Yeah, very true. It's it's not good. I want to see. We do. We did see. It's good. Hopefully, like it weakens the Kiwis, and and they're not that good in the World Cup. It doesn't matter at all. But it's good to actually see that she did so well for them. That's what I'm trying to say. She did well for the economy as a whole, and hopefully, like the incoming president's going to do similar great things for them as well.
So so there's going to be a lot of movements on the AUD.
NZD.
NZD.
I mean NZD again. NZD.
It's close enough, right?
Yeah, 100%. There was movements this week.
Yeah. Well, we saw like a lot of weakness coming into that NZD yesterday. Sort of stagnated today. It was just that initial push.
Yeah. I was just watching Euro NZD as we quickly go to the charts. I was just checking out Euro NZD, and let's quickly have a look at that. I have it somewhere here. Euro NZD. Or any NZD pair, but I was looking at Euro NZD.
Yeah, I was specifically yesterday looking at it as well. Pushed up very nice. The only problem for me on that is it's sitting in a bit of a range. So that top of the range was a really good place to look at actually getting out on it.
Yeah, so this spike down, this spike up. Let me just do this. There we go. All right. Yeah, so NZD, I wasn't looking at a lot of NZD pairs this week, only Euro NZD. Were you guys looking at NZD USD?
Not in particular, but sort of the same sort of aspect. Like all of them did that initial push and just recovering back to where it was. It wasn't necessarily that continuation that we were looking at for in the charts, and I sort of expected in a way. We haven't seen that continuations happening during the course of last year with all prime ministers resigning all over the place, assassinations. It's been, there hasn't been a lot of movement initially out of it, but it's a good thing to actually trade that initial news, take your profits and sort of get out of the markets.
Yeah, 100%. So it was Davos, these news about the prime minister. Basically this week, that's all I got.
There was no other major news events from the normal vanilla economy as a whole. Everything was pretty much quiet in essence, and I think come the first week of next month, it's going to be
that
exciting.
That FOMC for sure. I think everybody's holding on right now to see if we're going to get that 25.
Is it pre or post CPI?
Pre-CPI.
Pre-CPI. Pre-CPI.
It's going to be a lacquer week, man.
Yeah. Next week, we don't have any news except the PCE. Right?
Yeah.
PCE, I think, on Thursday. One of the important events as well. Not a lot of people are talking about PCE, right? They always talk about CPI. And PCE also part of the inflation data.
PCE is the Harvard brother of CPI.
100%. There we go. Harvard brother.
Yeah, it's the prim and proper one.
What's the other one from?
The one that CPI strives to be.
So it's PCE. Just lost my train of thought. It's PCE, Harvey Specter, CPI, Mike Ross.
Yeah, you can say that.
All right. Yeah, and then other than that, we're all waiting for the FOMC NFP on the same week. It's gonna be massive. There's gonna be massive movements.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a little bit more of a aggressive sort of a push in that NFP number. That's what I really, really want. And we saw similar
up or
things.
down. You want it up or down?
I don't know.
We're getting way over expectation.
I want to be honest with you. I would want it up. Yeah. Because if we get it up and you get stronger CPI figures, there's just even more of a cut sort of a scenario. So I would want up.
Yeah.
Up would be what I would look for. See that 500,000 figure come in.
Oh, no, that's a bit enthusiastic.
No, it's possible. I can see it being possible. We've been sitting in this stagnant zone of 200 to 250 odd for the last couple of months. Seeing a push for 500, I'm just you see flying all over the place.
Yeah, Could
for
be.
weakness.
Yeah.
That's weird, hey?
Yeah.
You see that strong unemployment numbers come in, and you just see like weakness on the dollar all over the place.
It's currently sitting at 3.6, 3.7%.
Unemployment. No, unemployment came down.
3.5.
Yeah, it
3.5.
came down. Like that was the big change in that NFP figure, was that unemployment. That's the big thing that came down, which was shocking because no one expected that.
No, 100%.
Came out as forecasted, 250 odd.
No, we were well over. I think
we weren't.
forecast. No, for NFP, I think it was something like 100 and something. We came out on 200 and something.
No, that was with ADP.
Oh, sorry, yes, that was
ADP came out a lot higher than expected, and that pushed some bit of strength into the market. Then that NFP figure came out, and it was as forecasted. There's nothing shocking out of it. We just saw like weakness coming into the market. Or was it strength coming into the markets? I can't remember.
Well, look, we've got sort of a relationship with Pal. We understand his nicks and knacks, what he likes, what he don't like.
If you say relationship, I just think about like taking Pal out on a date.
Well, I mean, at this point, I think I can. So we know he's a little bit. We know he spoon feeds, but we also know he is very contrarian to what people think or assume or bet on in the market. I mean, we went through the whole transitory thing. He was wrong. We went through all these increases where they said that, at the end of this, a lot of increases, he said that don't take the low CPI numbers now too seriously. It's going to follow up with higher numbers. That hasn't happened in 3 months. He came out and said, don't expect us to pivot anytime in 2023. And I think we're leading up to another power lie. I think it's going to be...
It's not a lie, it's diversion.
Okay, diversion. Obviously him stating that the markets are making it difficult for them to control price stability or make sure that price stability falls into place. But yeah, I think maybe he is wrong again.
To be honest with you, like I struggle with that statement in a lot of ways that he says, because at the end of the day, the market prices and everything. So they're already pricing in the cuts that they're going to make, and they're going to get to a point where they are going to make cuts. So it's not like it's not coming. Market's just pricing it in. Like at the moment, the stuff that they wanted to do is working. Figures are falling off. CPI month on month is getting lower and getting to sustainable levels. It's good. Like I don't know why he wants to try to manipulate the markets in a way by saying this, because the market is not manipulated, because they know what's going to happen. They know the dovish statements that they're going to take is going to turn hawkish sometime or another, and they're going to sit in a position where they're going to play catch up again.
I don't think right now he has any justification to raise the rates again.
I agree with you.
I feel like if they should now in the next FOMC just pause for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months.
We sort of discussed this a bit in like the first podcast of the year, episode number 1. Go catch it if you missed it. We spoke about it a bit, that we should actually start looking at, or they would normally look at, or they will possibly look at putting in 25 basis points, which I would think would be more than likely the right thing. Similarly with the next meeting, 25, then pausing, and then starting to look at, then more than likely starting to look at pushing it up a bit or pulling it back down. That's what I would think is going to happen, and I think that is more than likely the case at the end of the day. I can't see them necessarily changing that. Because there is that initial sort of a concern with regards to pausing too soon. Where is that specific level that they look at for them to actually be sustainable? So I would want them to actually start just pushing it like another 50 basis points come, if we're looking to 6 weeks, so come the end of the first quarter, to doing another 50 basis points, and then from there start pausing and slowing down.
We'll see. We'll see. Crazier things have happened. I mean, he could just come and hit us up with another 50. Be like, yo guys, we like this level. This is comfortable for us. They did continue to mention in the last meeting last year, before we had this one, there's still a lot of ground to cover, we've got a lot to do, and it's true, we're still very far away from 2%. This big drop in CPI has been because of these big numbers falling off, but we still have big numbers that are going to fall off for the rest of this year, up until June, July.
Yeah.
So
for me personally, like for me, the big growth factor is where the progress is being made is like that current CPI level is steady. It's steady at fairly low numbers, and that gives us an indication that that price stability is on the way. My big question is just how quick are they going to cut?
Yeah, I mean that's the topic we've been having since December, November.
Well, if they want to increase by 75, why not cut by 75?
I mean that's a fair question, 100%. You know, but I don't think they're gonna cut so aggressively, right? They are gonna cut, but so aggressively, I don't think that's gonna happen. So you can expect maybe if they cut maybe 50, 25, 50 for now.
I hope that's gonna happen. That's what I want. That's what I want.
You know, maybe let's say 3-4 meetings, 25, 50, and then they'll take it from there, depending on how the CPI looks, of course, where inflation is, of course. But yeah.
Okay, so next question, gents. I forgot the question. So, anyone think we're going back to like 0.25% interest rates anytime soon?
No.
That's very far.
Doubt.
Very, very far.
I think if the cutting should start coming in this year, I think maybe we'll sit. If they sticks to something like 25, 50, we'll sit maybe around
maybe
3.5%,
3%
by the end of this year.
100%. I also.
If they start by like April, June,
yeah. How many meetings are there in here roughly? If you guys know.
8. It's 8 meetings.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the first one. There's gonna be 7 more to go. So I think around November, that's when we will be around that 3%, maybe that 2% mark. Yeah.
Them being very data dependent though,
that's very important as
it's kind of, maybe we should expect him not to raise rates now in the next meeting. Maybe we should expect him to raise rates because he's already cut the amount that they raise it with. Maybe, instead of 25, he's like, look, it's going well. We still got a lot of months that with big data that's falling off. We can keep this on a 0, 0.1 or minus 0.1. It will consistently stay below the forecast or beyond forecast, which is what we've been seeing. The only problem that I have with that is once these big fingers fall off, we're going to start seeing real inflation, real CPI, nothing to do with the pandemic anymore. This is just going to be real CPI, and if they can get, I don't know if they'll be able to, bring it down from, let's say, 3.5% down to 2% as quickly as they brought it down from 9 to where we are right now. Taking that -0 or the 0.1 out every single month, it's going to take a very long time to get back down. It's going to take you 13, 15 months to get back down, more than a year to get back down to 2%.
Yeah. Okay,
so, interesting. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so our focus is on the FOMC. As always, we're going to do a live stream on that. We'll see if it's live or pre-recorded. But yeah, we'll see. More information will be on our social media pages. So FOMC, that's our point of view.
Possibly really good NFP numbers.
Yeah, it's going to be the same week.
I won't say possibly, like, I haven't looked at the analysis yet, but I just want it high. That's all.
Yeah, I'm also going to start paying close attention to what sort of movements we're starting to get out of the market on housing stats this year. So I think moving forward from next month, housing stats are going to start having some sort of an influence.
But sooner or later, like, the Fed's going to take that into account with regards to 100%. The rates as well. So they should have a fair idea that there's a housing bubble in the mix. And they need to make sure it does not pop.
That falls into price stability.
That falls into,
So
100%.
That's going to be the next interesting thing, is tackling the housing market. I wish they tackled the South African housing market as well. That would be nice.
Yeah, to be fair with you, like I want the housing market to pop a bit so
Yes.
properties get cheaper.
Yes, that would be great. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, I think that's that's all the news.
Well, yeah, we also had Luna's today. Luna's
Oh,
sister company declared bankruptcy. That was what was that? Genesis. Yeah, they filed for bankruptcy as the crypto crisis spreads, and then not very market related, but they're having a very tough time in Afghanistan right now. They got a death toll of 78 people already due to extreme cold. I don't think that's really going to have any influence, but it's at the point now where Afghanistan has said like NGOs and even women can come and help them. They'll protect them.
Sure.
So that's pretty interesting, tilting completely from December telling them don't go to work or you'll be killed, to please come and help us in like this. That's also interesting, but other than that, nothing happened this week.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't see anything's gonna happen next week. There's
No.
nothing happening
Well, you
next
get
week.
some abnormal events. We
Yeah.
might have Cyril Ramaphosa resigning
Doubt.
Hmm.
Doubt.
and Jacob Zuma stepping in
Hmm.
as president, and we'll see like massive movements in the zone.
Yeah, I mean,
Or like I was reading an article today as well about it was posted on my broadband if you want to go read it. The US, one of the US I want to say not consortiums but panels, was actually having a discussion with Eskom during the course of the week where they discussed how load shedding is affecting the US businesses in South Africa. And they were speaking about like global or countrywide blackouts and how long it will take to get the grids up and running, and how important load shedding actually is to the sustainability of South Africa at the moment. Very interesting to read, like go read up on it a bit if you guys are interested. And they discussed the vast amount of stuff within it. So still, I don't see load shedding ending anytime soon. I would love the US to start like pumping in some resources to help us out. Or
There is something. I'll send it through to you.
the problem is like they need to do it. We don't need to send out tenders for us to do it, because that's where the problem lies.
Well, this is all offshore. This guy's talking about they're sitting with hundreds of billions of dollars ready to invest. They are sitting with gas plants, coal plants, and everything else that they are just waiting for Eskom to collapse, because they will not step in or help or take over Eskom without everybody leaving. They don't want anybody in that company that's working there currently, because they say the rot starts, it's like everyone, from the gate guard right to the top, the CEO, everybody's in on it. They're overstaffed with 30,000 people. They have 30,000 more people working there than there should be. They should have only 14,000 staff and run the country sustainably. And everybody at Eskom is paid 3 to 4 times the world average. You're aware of that?
Sure.
Like even a
That's
technician, 3 to 4 times the world average.
Justice.
Yeah, and we need to fit that with another 18% hike now. Another 18% hike, and now people are starting to protest and run around and do all these things, which I don't think is going to have any sort of influence on it. They will continue to keep that rate high, but I think by the end of 2025, 40% of this country, 50% of this country is going to be off the grid.
Yeah. Well, we're heading that way. And it's actually forced upon to hit that way at the end of the day. Like there's no.
I mean, I'm even looking at taking a loan out right now to, we've been talking about it. With the banks will give you 100,000, 150,000 rand to get off grid. They'll actually give you a loan at a lower rate and everything if it is specifically for solar. So you give them the quotation, they pay it out, solar gets installed. So.
And it's ridiculous if you think about like how much electricity's increased now, or is it going to increase? When's it effective?
It's effective from the new financial year, so it's going to be now, like
start of March.
Yeah, 18% this year and another 16% next quarter. Yeah.
Shit. But just to think, like, you pay so much more for electricity, and then when the power's off, you still need to go buy diesel or petrol to go fill up your generator just to keep on like living.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how we're gonna get over it. Mr. Montashe says 12 to 18 months, so I think he's smoking his socks. But you know, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, load shedding. I was watching the USD ZAR. I've been watching it this
because you couldn't watch soccer.
yeah, you know, I didn't catch up on soccer. Well, I saw the highlights, but I didn't watch live soccer this week. It's just ridiculous. You know, I've got load shedding at 10. It's been at 10 at night this whole week. But yeah, I was watching USD ZAR. It's trying to push a little bit to the upside. Found support, trying to push a little bit to the upside. Now, these news, of course, the sentiment around the tariffs increase and all of that is negative, you know, to the rand, and we can at least like I think expect.
But we've been
higher.
seeing some weird movements lately, and we spoke about like a while back where the USD ZAR was pushing down so much more on like positive news out of the US.
Yeah.
Every other currency like the US. The dollar gained strength, where on the ZAR it just weakened, and not a little bit, like substantially.
Yeah,
it's like we're almost getting inverse movements, and I thought the same thing. Given stage 6 load shedding, it should be flying.
Well, to just add to that, actually just got the notification we're staying on stage 4 today and moving to stage 3 tomorrow.
That's good.
There's no
Is
much
it
change.
good? It usually lasts like 2 days,
There's
and then
no
we're
much
back to
change.
6.
And
So,
and you know, this is the thing. It's crazy how every time like that we're gonna go from stage 4 to stage 3. Every time we go a stage lower, we become happy.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, my power's off exactly at the same time in stage 4,
See?
stage 5, and stage 6.
Same year.
Well, no, at least like it's not like 4 consecutive hours or 5 consecutive hours of load shedding.
To me, it's just the same thing, you know. But and then what's this? By the time we've got elections, don't be surprised when you go to stage 1.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to like no
Zero,
load shedding
yeah.
until the elections are done, and then we'll go to like
Yeah.
stage 17.
Yep. 100%. And they're going to be like,
That's our reality. That's our reality.
KFC and t-shirts don't work anymore. Give them power.
Well, at least like on a positive note, KFC is up and running again.
Yeah. Did you see that massive, like 3 million chickens or something that died from the
I saw
load
the
shedding
headline.
as well?
I saw the headline.
Yeah, it's not even that, like sewage plants, like this
Everything.
load shedding is like affecting infrastructure in this country so much.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
South Africans are tough people, man.
Yeah.
God forbid the enemies we ever have in war, because they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah. But I think that's the reality we live in right now. Are you guys still on your bet? Bitcoin flying up? You guys still on that?
100%.
Oh jeez, I forgot
Even
about that bit.
Even with
The
the
clients
news,
didn't forget. You know,
even with the news we got out today, we've been holding pretty solid. So that's one thing. If I can check out, I mean, most stuff's up. Even Bitcoin's up 1.5% today. So
1.5% on nothing is not a lot.
yeah, but that 21.
You also need to consider it's also down 500%.
Yeah, but that 20,000, it's not that much, it's like 200%. That 20,000 mark it's sitting on right now, if we can crack that, 36 is definitely in range. 30 to 36.
No, we did not say 36. What did we say? Back to its last highs.
Let's go to the chart. You know, the
30
chart
to
does proof.
36, guys.
That's proof. Let's go to the chart. Where's my Bitcoin? It's supposed to be down.
Please don't go to the Bitcoin JPY and prove him right.
So check 21,000. You said
30 to 36, if we can crack this 21.
No. I said me and you both said it's not going higher than that 36 mark.
I said at least 30,000.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
30 to 36.
Yes, it's not going higher than that.
Of course. We'll
It's
have a
not.
small
You said
retracement
the bet was back to the highs again.
in 24 months.
I'll hold by that. 24 months is long.
Okay.
I just need to remember it.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, 24 months. Yeah, it's 2 years.
Well, look, by the end of this year, we might
At the rate that
be
crypto is,
close.
at the rate crypto is like going bust, there might not be Bitcoin left in 24 months.
At the end of the day, crypto is not really going bust. It's just terrible exchanges that are going bust. Fraudulent exchanges that don't know how to run balance sheets and you know, that don't understand collateral and all these types of things that's actually dying. It's not crypto. It's bad exchanges. At the end of the day, as long as we got something like Binance, you know, that's doing it the right way, CZ being an extremely smart guy, I think crypto will be there. And for the most part right now, people don't trust any exchange anymore. Everybody's on cold wallets, cold storage and DeFi wallets. So I mean, even all my stuff's in DeFi wallet. So if you don't keep it on the exchange, nothing can happen to it. It's not necessarily the crypto, it's the exchanges that are dying. And that's the fault of the SEC, because they just refuse to work with the crypto community to actually make it a safer space without centralizing finance.
Yeah, but this chart is just screaming bubble though.
It did. At
It
63, it's popped, and now it's time for, you know,
Yeah, but you know if
that
there's
Amazon run up, you know?
If there's no, what Amazon run up? Like
The same
that was a
thing
stock
happened.
split.
No, but so if you go look at what
And there's
Bitcoin
different.
is,
Like there's value there.
yeah, but it's the same thing. The dot-com bubble burst. Everything lost its value, 300, 400% in a day. And over the next 24 months recovered and broke completely out of that because people actually understood what it can do, what it is, the technology, everything else that goes along with it. So I think
You think what?
I think it's gonna go back and possibly even go much
To
higher.
a billion.
No, not a
One
billion.
Bitcoin's gonna go to
Nah,
a billion.
Not a billion, man. But like, I think there's still some worth to it, and I think it's still an attractive, you know, still an attractive investment option for retail traders, especially. And that fund managers, you know, the boards of funds are now starting to allocate certain percentages of their portfolios, even though it is to a high risk investment, towards not necessarily holding the coin or the token, but towards the companies operating on these blockchains is expanding exponentially. I mean, we've
Can you put a 20 moving average on that chart? Exponential.
20.
Yeah. It is on 20.
That's 50.
50. I'll do 20.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
Where is it? There we go. Exponential. That works. This on the weekly.
so we cracked that. You know what I'm saying? 200 will most likely sit around that 30,000 mark.
No, I think it's like stuck between that 50 and 200.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
you think the 200 is that close to the 20?
No, the 50 and the
Yeah,
20.
50 and the 20. I think the 200 sitting around about the 30,000 mark, around about there. So
You just see strong rejection from the 200.
100%, that'll be an attractive place for
Sellers.
institutions to sell, retailers to sell. Once we hit that mark, we come back down, we stay above that 50 and crack the 200. Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, but the floor is zero.
That's okay. I don't think we'll see Bitcoin go to zero. I
Yeah.
don't think we'll see Bitcoin, even if it continues to drop, go lower than $5,000 a coin. I highly doubt it'll even crack 8. But now, right now, what we also have to understand is the rate cuts and everything that's coming in has also has just as much of an impact on the crypto market as it has on the currency market. and the equity market. It does 100%.
That's possible.
100%. The only reason we're seeing this turnaround is exactly the same reason people are talking about the bottoms in the equity market, is because this pivot is coming, because these rate cuts are coming. The bets are lining up. We just got to make sure we're in the right line. I wouldn't buy right now. I think we'll see some downside. We had a very great week. We had this news come out today. I think that's going to take some time for people to process that.
We had a great week last week. There was no continuation.
Well, yeah, last week. And all of that comes from this talk of the pivot. And for the most part, we've been seeing crypto hold on to the gains they made. We've really been seeing sit solidly. There's a lot of volume coming back into exchanges, it just shows that people are slowly starting to get comfortable again with the crypto market.
They're just buying the dip again.
Yeah, they are just buying the dip. That's 100% correct. But it's not a bad time to buy the dip. If you want to take this sort of risk.
Hard. It
is still risky.
This dip is hard to sort of predict at the moment.
Yeah. So that's how Bitcoin is looking.
Natural gas. Want to touch on natural gas? It looks like catching a falling knife at the moment.
Natural gas. Let's. There you go. Right, natural gas. Nothing has changed. This is just way too aggressive.
You know, they say like you don't try to catch a falling knife.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Is like I don't know, like this might be really great long-term buying levels coming up. It's sitting at like really good levels now. If you can get like natural gas at $1.60, like you buy a lot of it and you hold it for long.
Yeah. $2.
The thing is, and we've had this discussion, like this chart is not going lower than like
you can
$1.60.
if you have the margin, you can just start scaling in right now with buys.
Why?
You're anyways gonna get back the swaps. I can guarantee you they are paying you to hold buys right now.
Well, we'll have to see, but at the moment, I would still wait for that bottom to actually start forming first. Like it's just been falling so aggressively. As quickly as it went up, it's starting to go down. We did have a theory surrounding this with China sort of funneling natural gas somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere being Europe.
Yes.
So it's very interesting to see, like, and I want to see like where that bottom's going to be, because it's going to be like a really good term option for like a longer term buy.
And it's cheap. You can buy a lot of natural gas, a lot of lots, contracts, whatever with natural gas for very small amounts. I mean, right now it's something like 18 cents for a micro.
Do a falling trend line on like this long, that high.
This one.
Yeah, with that high. Yeah. Extend it.
So, for me, at this point, there's no technicals.
No.
100%. Yeah, I mean, this thing
Nothing.
is just, just wait and see what will happen here. Just wait and see.
That's a big zone. That's like $2.
Yeah, that's definitely a big zone. I mean, wait to see what will happen here, and then we'll get the story here. Because when it's this aggressive, it can still drop.
Yeah.
Alright, so for me, I'll just watch and see what will happen there. Any movement, I mean, we can still get some some longs, and then
This almost looks like a Bitcoin chart, to be honest.
The bubble.
Do you think gas will ever go back to $9?
Hey?
Do you think gas will ever go back?
100%.
So why you don't think?
Because gas is actually utilized for something. Substantially. You use gas to cook food. You use Bitcoin to buy the dip. Only thing you buy in Bitcoin is the dip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can't use it for your chips. Chips and dip. It's like dad
Slow.
joke and gone wrong.
I'm slow.
Sorry about that.
It flew above us. You know. Yeah, so Bitcoin natural gas. I think those are the charts.
Keeping an eye out for what this week? Charts wise?
For me,
I'm still keeping.
How much higher you think gold's gonna go?
Gold is going back to this high, and that's my prediction. All right, let's go back to gold here. Gold is gonna easily break this level, right? It might form a retracement here. I don't care, but it's still gonna break.
I want that retracement though.
Yeah, I think gold is coming back to this zone. That's a supply zone. That's where gold is going. It can still break it, but I think we'll see what will happen there. It's between 20 and not 20.
2000.
I mean 2000 and 2050. Yeah, 2000 between 2050 and 2000. That's my take on gold. Right, natural structure. We're gonna get some higher highs and higher lows.
We haven't had a low.
yeah, we need one.
Yeah, people must not get caught in this thinking it's gonna drop. No, look at the structure. Waiting for a higher low.
Yeah, I want that low. I want
And
that level, almost that level.
1860.
Almost that level there that you pointed, like that level.
What's that
Just
level?
It's
untested.
1860.
1860, yeah. If we can get 1860, I'm happy for Obama. If we can hold 1860,
Yeah,
100% agree with you. We're going to see that top very soon.
Yeah, I'm just so scared. You start buying now and it drops.
Yeah, don't buy now. Now's a bad place to buy.
Now don't buy.
I mean, we're sitting right
we
right
can't be buying
underneath
right
that. Yeah.
Can't be buying.
Euro USD looks kind of exactly the same. Also, if it's sitting on a level where if it breaks that level, there's much more upside to Euro USD as well. So I'm also very interested to see what's going to happen there next week, because if we reject here, we might get a very deep retracement. Very, very, very deep retracement.
Yep. Yeah, so those are the charts for this week, right? Yeah. So good. So good.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. This was a very in-depth discussion filled with lots of jokes, humor, and some useless information sometimes, but entertaining
But that's a
nonetheless.
podcast.
The only useless information that we did not share, or one of the most important ones, is that City is not in charge in Manchester anymore.
Yeah, we humble them, give them a humble pie,
Yeah.
and then the town is red.
Just look at the logs, eh?
Yeah, I mean,
Look at the logs,
we
eh?
were 3 points apart.
Yeah. Just wait for the end of the season.
Yeah, but it's looking good for Man United.
At least we know that Liverpool's not getting into top 4.
Yeah, they might get to top 4, but it's looking difficult now. It's a mission now for them.
They need to fork out a lot of cash. And on a note from Liverpool's side, did you see that owners withdrew them trying to sell Liverpool?
Is it?
Yep, they're not selling anymore.
Ah.
On a side note, United Sir Jim Ratcliffe
Yeah,
put in
so
an
the
official
forefront,
bid.
Yeah.
Put in an official bid. Man United is listed on, I think, the Nasdaq.
Craigslist. Oh.
Country. And then they need to disclose a lot of these things for investor purposes. So Jim Ratcliffe and what's his Ionic, I think it's Ionic group actually put in an official bid. It's not known what that bid is at the moment, but we're foreseeing a bidding war. And apparently, there's due bids from Asia this week, as well as the US. So, as far as I heard, they want United sold by Feb.
That's good news to us, United fans.
Yeah.
By Feb.
Yeah, by
Good
Feb.
news. Yeah.
We need some cash so we can buy some players.
100%. Champions League is ours. Not mean, but we're going there next season.
Win a title race.
Yeah. Cool stuff. I think that's it for the week, for this episode 2. Right. Hope everyone enjoyed. Keep a very close eye on our social media pages for any updates throughout the week. And we'll catch you guys back next week.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Have a great week.